This is Talking Bullish, your Bradford Bulls fan podcast. With your hosts, Laura Micklefield and Alan Raisin.
This week we're going to have a look back at our home game against Wakefield, our away game against the Rhinos. We've also got a lot of news coming from the club this week, which we'll go through. A lot of it, unfortunately, is injury news. And then we'll have a look forward to Hull KR this week.
Yes, indeed we will. Thank you, Laura. So we've got two matches to cover for you today. We've got the home match against Wakefield Trinity and away at the Rhinos.
Yeah, so starting off with the Wakey match then. We managed to get to that one, didn't we, Alan, just before you jetted off to sunny Spain. But yeah, it was a bit of a shaky start from the Bulls, knock on from the first play, and I thought, is this how this is going to go? I was worried it was going to be a whitewash, but turned out not to be that way.
Yes, it was quite an exciting first half, and in fact, we managed to go in at half-time 6 points to 10.
Yeah, I thought we were pretty good. I did expect that we were going to be further behind than that, and I think my predictions predicted that as well, because I thought we were definitely going to get a bit of a whitewash, like I say, but 6-10 at half-time, I was quite pleased, and it felt like we were kind of starting the second half well as well, but then it was a change in momentum that kind of changed the whole match, in my opinion. It was 42 minutes, obviously 2 minutes into the second half. And it's a clear knock-on from Wakefield, but the referee ruled it was Bradford who touched it. We challenged it. It went up to the challenge. Like, we all watched it on this screen. It was a clear Wakefield knock-on because it was ruled inconclusive. So obviously Wakefield got the ball, but just these captain challenges, I think that just everyone's getting frustrated with them. It's crazy, especially with something like that. It's like the ball's got up, it's been hit forward and knocked on. It can't move that way unless it's hit something. You can clearly see it's not hit the Bradford man. So the only option is that it's hit the Wakefield man. But because they couldn't see, apparently, that it hit the Wakefield man, it's not classed as a knock-on. Well, absolutely baffling. But, yeah.
I still think the Bulls battled quite well. Like I say, it's still quite an exciting game to watch. But essentially, Wakefield ran away with it.
Yeah, I think it was one of those that because of that change in momentum, obviously, Wakefield got over straight after that. So it made it 16-6, which just makes it a bit more out of our stretch. We did get a try back, but then, it was just Wakefield kind of with two tries towards the end to take it. But I do think we played quite well. I was really pleased. I think I was in a bit of a negative headspace, I think, about our performances as of late. But after watching that one, I was like, yeah, we did ourselves proud. I thought we played really well, and we could have got something out of that match, but unfortunately, decisions didn't go our way, and just Wakefield too strong at the end.
And then it ended 12 points to the Bulls, 26 points to Wakefield. So we move on then to the game at the weekend, Sunday afternoon against Leeds. We had a good start, strong defence, and we were, in fact, first to score after 9 minutes. Armitage jumps on a grubber kick and dots it down just before the dead ball line. And Hooley converts, making it 6 points to the Bulls.
Yeah, I couldn't believe this one. I managed to get it on the stream after frustrations of trying to get it on my phone, on my iPad, and all this sort of thing. So I missed the first couple of minutes, so I was a bit frustrated. But I did manage to get onto the stream in the end and started watching this one. And I couldn't believe it. I thought, going ahead. This Leeds seemed a bit shaky at the start, just seemed a bit off it, and we seemed to be really kind of pushing up on defence and really on it. And it showed, because obviously we got the first score of the match, making it 6-0 to us. It was really good from Armitage, to be fair, to get it down just before the line, because it was pretty close.
Yeah, I remember watching it in real time and thinking, I don't think he's got that down in time. But I went to the video referee and he did.
Yeah, and then it wasn't until 24 minutes until Leeds struck back, and it was an unfortunate one. It was an intercepted pass where they just picked it off and ran the full length of the field. And again, I feel like maybe if that hadn't have happened, momentum was in our way. We were very much on the attack. And we seem to be having Leeds on the ropes at this point. But it definitely it definitely kind of switched the momentum the other way and became 6-6 at that point.
And then Leeds scored another couple of tries before half-time.
So a half-time score of 18-6, which I think were pretty respectable, to be honest. It wasn't what I was expecting. I thought it would have been a lot higher in Leeds' favour at this point. I mean, we were down on troops as it was, and Leeds are pretty full strength at the moment. So I thought we'd really done ourselves proud in that first half, kind of carrying on from where we left off with Wakefield. I felt like we were quite eager in defence and rushing up to tackle, which was really good to see. But yeah, it was positive first half. What did you think, Alan?
Yeah, obviously it was good to get the first score in, but playing a team with Leeds' strength and quality, obviously topping the table at the moment, it was always going to be a difficult game. So, yeah, it was not too bad.
Yeah, so into the second half, and it was kind of all Leeds in the second half, to be honest. We won't go through play-by-plays of all their tries, but it did, it could have got away from us more than it did, though, to be fair. But the momentum just totally switched. It was, again, it kind of started... It started kind of how the first half did, and we got the try first. And I thought, we're within 6 again now. So it was a brilliant try where Dean's kick drops down and falls to Ryan, who passes it into Atkin, who passes it back to Ryan to score. I'm glad to see Ethan Ryan get over for another try. So we thought, it's going to get close again here. But yeah, just after that, it just went totally the other way. I mean, the game changer really was like a monster 40-20 or 20-40. I think they were calling it a 10-10 that Jake Connor kicked. As soon as he kind of kicked that ball, we had them kind of down in their end of the field, but he kicked that, got them out, and just from then momentum totally switched. In fairness, I did say afterwards when we were watching that match, if Jake Connor hadn't been on the field for Leeds, I feel like it'd have been a much closer match, and in fairness, we would have had a chance of winning it.
As it was, finished 40 points to the Rhinos, 12 points to the Bulls. Not a dismal performance. We did certainly provide some attacking threat, but it was always going to be a difficult one.
No, I don't think anyone were expecting a win. And 40 points to 12 in the end, which again could have been worse, and probably would have thought it'd have been worse, to be fair. So, and then other results this week as well. The Academy were in action and they lost 56-30. And the reserves also a loss this week, 30 points to 14 to Saints, but it seemed like that was quite a close one at some points in the match as well. So just kind of slipped away from them at the end, because I know they've been having quite a good season otherwise. But yeah, a lot of us didn't expect much from the Leeds match, to be honest, but it was more costly than we thought, because it wasn't really the scoreline. It was the injuries. Again, just more injuries.
Yes, and in fact, you have put in our notes a league table of injuries that you've gathered. Yeah,
so thanks to Super League Injuries 2026 on X again, which I keep mentioning. So if they ever listen to this, they'll be liking getting the name drops, but I don't know if they do. But yeah, they put a lovely little graphic up of all the injuries of the season from every squad. And they're right at the top with 201 recovery weeks and 52 injuries is Bradford Bulls.
Yeah, definitely not the league table that we wanted to be topping. But it's hard times for the Bulls at the moment with injuries.
Yeah, we'll have a look through. I mean, that does just show, though, the kind of the adversity we have been facing this season. So to be kind of getting the wins that we did get, considering that I don't think we've ever had a squad with all the first choices playing together. It's been a quite turbulent season, and I think we should be probably proud of the wins we have got. But yeah, like you say, let's have a look at some fresh injuries that we got off of the back of that game. So Jack Ormonroyd has got a season-ending injury this time. He'd just come back from injury as well. He'd not been back too long, but this time he's got an ankle injury, and that's, he's gutted for him, because he was starting to find form. Kurt was saying that, it's a shame, but unfortunately that's a season ender for him.
Nicarima is still suffering from his recurring shoulder blade injury that keeps taking him out. He should be back for Warrington, Kurt says.
Yeah, and we've heard that Ackers is got a sore thumb apparently, but I think he is going to be playing next week. But we have actually brought Thomas Doyle back on loan for 1 week. To be able to give him a break. So whether he will play for part of the match or whether he'll have that match off completely, obviously we'll find out once the squad comes out. But both are named in the 20-man squad.
Yeah, well, listening to the match preview, Kurt was saying that it's difficult to train Tom Doyle in the ways of the way he'd like to play. So the plan seems to be to alternate, I guess, between Ackers and Doyle, so that gives Ackers a bit of a break with his thumb.
Yeah, I think it's a smart pickup, to be honest, because he's obviously come from our academy. He's played for us in the past as well for quite a long time. So he obviously knows Odsal, and he'll know some of the team that are there, or some of the backroom staff at least. So hopefully, I know it's only for a week, but he'll do a good job for us.
We heard the other week that Mitch Suter as well has suffered a season-ending injury as well, unfortunately.
Yeah, I can't remember what that was. I think he picked it up in a reserve game, didn't he? But he's out for the season. Dan Russell is also seeing an eye specialist following it was against Wakefield. He went off, didn't he? So he didn't feature last week, but he might be able to be coming back on. But obviously, I think they have to be careful with him. Other news this week is quite interesting. It's just kind of come out before we came on to do the recording, is about players that have been released from their contracts at the end of the season.
Yeah, so Guy Armitage was posting on his Instagram the other day about being released for next season. So that's a bit of a shock for him. But I guess it's good to know where you stand for next year.
Yeah, we got forward this. I think it was it my nephew who sent it on to us, saying had we seen it, and I'd kind of seen the video, but I'd not listened to it, so I'd not really known the context of it. So obviously, when I watched, it's like, oh yeah, so he's obviously been told that he's not going to be part of the playing squad next season. And it looks like from what the release statement today says, that Kurt has made the decision to let players know early rather than the end of August deadline, so that they can obviously get sorted with other contracts elsewhere, which in one space is really good. It gives them plenty of time to get where they need to be. But obviously on the other side of things, it's not the greatest thing to hear that you're not getting your contract renewed, but obviously you've got games to play until the end of the season. But he has alluded to the fact that they're like a close group of players, and they will obviously play to the best of their ability whilst they're still in a Bradford shirt. Speaking of that list then.
So far the players released for next year, we've got Joe Keys, Sam Hallas, Chris Atkin, Guy Armitage, as we say, Dan Russell, Mitch Suter, and Ed Chamberlain as well, also returned to his parent club, Hull FC. Yeah,
so it's interesting because it wasn't so long ago that I was kind of making a list of the squad and seeing what their contracts were, to see the ones that were out of contract. Obviously, those on the list were there to say they were out of contract, but there's also Riley Dean, Jack Ormonroyd and Phoenix Steinwade, who only had 1 year contracts as well. But obviously they're not on that list. I know Riley Dean is obviously on loan from Oldham, so whether that's why he's not on the list, because it was always agreed that it's just a 1 year loan and he's going back. But obviously they've mentioned it for Ed Chamberlain, so whether they're thinking of renewing that or keeping him, don't know. It'd be interesting to know, if anyone listening, what they think. But yeah, Jack Ormonroyd and Phoenix Steinwade obviously missing off of that list as well, which maybe alludes to the fact that they're wanting to keep them on for another year or so. I don't know. Again, we'll have to wait and see when some announcements come, but I noticed that those were the 3 that were out of contract that were missing from that release list. When it comes to that list, what do you think, Alan? Any shockers? I mean, the only one I was a bit shocked at was Dan Russell, because I know he had a bit of injury adversity at the start of the season and towards the end, but when he's been playing, it's been great. I think he's been a really solid player, and I think he's I think he's one that we will miss, to be honest.
Yeah, I guess obviously Joe Keys, Sam Hallas, Guy Armitage, they were sort of really playing well for us last season in the Championship, so it'd be a shame to see them go. But, I guess this is rugby league. You've got to keep refreshing the squad and building on it to make it better.
Yeah, it's sad to see any player going. Like you say, with the likes of Joe and Sam, they've been with the club quite a long time, and obviously Mitch was kind of coming through to be a really strong player for the Bulls, but he's just not been in favour with since Kurt took over. So I suppose limited game time and injuries for a lot of players on that list maybe explain why they're not getting a contract renewal, but. All the best to them. And like I say, I hope they get sorted with some contracts elsewhere or with whatever they go on to. But obviously, if any of them feature in the last few games of the season, we'll be cheering them on.
And while we're talking about squad changes, although it's not directly Bradford related, we should talk about St Helens losing their head coach suddenly.
Oh, yeah, so that was a bit of a shock, to be honest. I mean, I don't even think he's really had a chance to kind of embed himself and his way of working into St Helens. I don't really think it's the coach's fault with what's been going on there. I mean, it's been an unprecedented season for injuries, like we've just said. And if you look at the table, second in that table are St Helens. So they've had 50 injuries, not far off what the Bulls have had. So considering the adversity they've had with injuries this season as well, I do think whether he chose to or he was pushed, either way, it seems a little bit premature or a little bit harsh. But one of those things. But obviously, it's kind of linked slightly to the Bulls because there's been rumours in the rumour mill for the fact that Kurt Haggerty is on the radar for St Helens coaching. But I think you said, Alan, that he's kind of mentioned that he's focused on Bradford Bulls.
Yeah, I mean, he said in the press conference that he was totally focused on Bradford Bulls at the moment. So I guess you would say that in that sort of situation until anything becomes concrete. But yeah, there certainly were some very sort of nice words, strong words said by St Helens being interested in Kurt. But as I say, there's nothing definite from Kurt. He seems to be, let's hope he's committed to the Bulls until the end of the season.
Yeah, hopefully he'll be staying with us. I mean, I was saying myself, I wouldn't mind Paul Rowley, so it wouldn't be. I wouldn't mind if he came on board as well. So, but no, I think obviously he'll probably try and look for another head coaching role somewhere. So if Kurt did go, maybe it'd be a switch, but hopefully not. Hopefully we can get some consistency and keep with the squad that we're building under Kurt for next season. So looking forward then, I suppose, to Hull KR is this week, and it's away. Like we said earlier, we think Ackers is probably going to be playing with an injury and Doyle will be playing, but we've also had confirmation that young Alfie Leake will be making his debut for this match. So another Bradford Academy product coming through the line and getting a Super League debut, which is always brilliant to see.
Also, Logan Lewis is about 50-50 to be back in the squad, according to Kurt. Back to League is really good for him to get his Super League debut at the age of, I think it's 19.
Yeah, really good. It's nice to see, like I say, the young people come through. Like it was good to see Gil get a couple of games in Super League this season as well. I think he's picked up an injury, unfortunately, as well, like everybody else. But it's really good to see Alfie Leake in that squad. And it looks like Steinwade, even though he was suspected that he would be injured, he looks like he's going to be fit to play as well. So probably not as bad as we thought, but still, I think he said, 15 fit players that we've got that are fully fit, and I think some kind of walking wounded that are going to play as well, and obviously academy graduates standing up into the first team as well. So it's going to be tough. I think that's the that's the word.
Yeah, Kurt was talking about sort of the squad for next season in the pre-match, and sort of suggesting that it might need four options in each position next year. So, interesting if for that to be the ambition. I don't know if it's realistic. Obviously, that makes quite a big squad.
Yeah, I mean, that would be a good ambition. But I mean, the way that injuries are going lately, it seems like it's something that you need. I mean, if you think of the centre position, for example, we lost Easton Masters, even though obviously it's getting better earlier than the thought, so there might be a chance that he features before the end of the season, but we thought it was a season-ended injury, so we've had him out for a long time. So we had like Chamberlain covering that, and then obviously Chamberlain got injured, and then Wonga Blake has had 2 injuries this season in and out on the other side. And then obviously Armitage has slotted in, and Armitage has picked up an injury and then come back again. And then now we've got Hooley covering in centres, even though he doesn't play centre. So it's been, that position in particular has been crazy, as has the halfbacks. We've always seemed to have trouble with injured halfbacks at Bradford Bulls, and it seems to be continuing. And obviously with Nicarima, he's been kind of in and out with this shoulder injury, and he had an injury towards the start of the season. We've seen nothing really of Rowan Milnes all season. He's had injuries. Obviously, Joe Keys has had back problems. It's been halfbacks and centres seem to be the key area that we've had problems this year. But across the board, a lot of injuries. So a lot of people having to step up into unfamiliar positions. But I have no doubt that they'll be giving it some real effort against Hull KR. And I think we'll do ourselves proud. I don't think we'll get the win, but I think we'll put up a good fight.
Yeah, obviously going up against the world champions, Hull KR. It's on Friday night, this one. So, it's going to be a very tough one. I'm not that confident in the win either. But we'll have to see how we go.
Yeah, Friday night in Hull sounds good. I won't be making the journey myself, but I will be catching it on the TV. So we'll be having a watch of it. But I'm hopeful plenty of Bulls fans will get over there because, like I say, I think a lot of people kind of not expecting the wins from these matches, but there's a lot of fans still turning up, which is really good to see. But I mean, speaking of Hull KR, though, they've obviously got Mikey Lewis banned. And they've got, I think, another player who's got a ban and 2 or 3 kind of main injuries. So nowhere near as extensive a list as the Bradford injury list, but they're not on a full squad either. So you never know. With Mikey Lewis off the field, might get a chance of posting a few points because he was the one causing havoc with us when they played us at Odsal last time out.
Well, looking back at the predictions, obviously we weren't here. We didn't make any predictions for the Rhinos match last week.
I think I'd have predicted 40 points to 12.
Yeah, of course you would have done.
We'll just have to take that one out of the calculation.
Yeah, so obviously, as we know, Trinity finished 12 points to the Bulls, 26 to Wakefield. I predicted 16.36 and you predicted 12.48. So I ended up scoring 11 points to your 6, and that takes me to 210 points to your 206. So now I'm in the lead. Woohoo!
Very good.
But that takes us to leading predictions for this match. And I'm worried about this one. I think given that it's the Super League champions, it could be a tough one. The sky could be the limit for the amount of points we concede, but let's see. I think I'm going to go for 40 points to Hull and 10 points to the Bulls.
I'm going to be slightly more optimistic. I'm thinking there's nothing to lose. Let's just go for it. Mikey Lewis is missing. So I'm going to go 30 points to 16 to Hull KR.
Right, that's locked in then. So, do make sure you drop your predictions in either the comments on social media or on your podcast platform, because we do love to see your predictions and see how we all get along.
Yeah, so obviously we didn't record last week. We've made the decision to kind of go to every couple of weeks for now. The listeners, unfortunately, are dropping off a bit, and I'm hoping it's not because we're boring you with our rambling on about Bradford Bulls. I'm thinking it's maybe because we've not had much to talk about in the sense of wins. It's been a kind of a string of losses, and we found the trend that a lot of people aren't tending to listen after a loss, which I can kind of understand myself, to be fair, because I know myself. I watch the highlights if it's a win, and I don't tend to watch the highlights if it's a loss. So we've just made the decision to go to every 2 weeks now for recordings.
This does, of course, leave us with a bit of a problem for Bull or No Bull, where Laura had prepared 3 statements about the rhinos for me to answer, which we haven't had a chance to hear.
As is tradition, even though the match has already been and gone, I did prepare these before the match against the Leeds Rhinos. So this one is about the Leeds Rhinos. So the 3 statements that I have for you, Alan. The first one, the Rhinos first team squad has 1 player that used to play for Bradford, like their current squad. Mm-hmm. The Bulls have 3 ex-Rhinos playing in their squad. And the last time we played the Rhinos at Magic Weekend was the largest winning margin for the Rhinos against the Bulls in Super League era.
Oh, right. Tricky. So, I don't really know the pedigree of many rugby league players, I have to say. That's that Magic Weekend one. No, I think I'm going to go as the. I think I'm going to go for the second statement. The 3 Rhinos players in the Bradford Bulls current team.
That one is the false statement.
Yeah.
You are correct. Good guessing.
Wow.
Yeah. So yes, there are actually 4. So Hooley, Ruan, Ackers and Hallis have all played for the Rhinos in the past. So it's 4 rather than 3. There is in fact 1 player who's played for Bradford who is in the Leeds Rhinos current squad, and it's Mikolaj Ledski. He came to us on loan way back, I think it was in 2017 with Jordan Lilly and Sam Hallis at the time. They all came on a loan together, and he played for us for quite a few matches. And I think Bulls were very keen to keep him, to be honest. But he's always been quite committed to the Rhinos. And then the last time we played the Rhinos at Magic Weekend, so the one just gone, was the largest winning margin for the Rhinos against the Bulls. It was 50 points to 16, which was a 34-point winning margin. Interestingly enough, the largest winning margin the other way around for Bradford beating Leeds was also 34 points in 2000 with 46 points to 12. So yeah, I thought that was quite an interesting fact to add on to the end of it, that with the 34 points is the most they've beat us by, and 34 points is the most we've beaten them by.
Oh, yeah, very interesting. Well, that brings us to the end of another episode of Talking Bullish. Make sure you check out our website at talkingbullish.fm, where you can find links to all the podcast platforms as well as all our social media, where you can, of course, get in touch with us.
Yeah, and be sure to catch us in a couple of weeks' time, and we'll have a look back, obviously, at the Hull KR match and the match against Warrington. Is that right?
Yep, against Warrington. Make sure, if you like the podcast, or if you think there's anything that you want to hear more of or less of, please get in touch on the social media or in the podcast comments, because we do like to know what you'd like to listen to and make this podcast better for you.
Yeah, as always, we always appreciate, obviously, those who are continuing to listen through thick and thin, but also to get involved and let us know. Let's say if there's anything interesting that you'd like us to talk about, or anything you'd like us to include, please do let us know. We are open to feedback.
Yeah, and then if you're going over to Hull, or even if you're just watching it on the telly on Friday night, make sure you keep running with the Bulls.
Come on, you Bulls.